And before going to start, I would say that this is day 31 of improving my communication skill. Sorry, day 32 of improving my communication skill. Communication skills. S- Communication skills. Okay, fine. And we are going to read chapter number 6. And sorry, I cannot share a screen today as I haven't shared the uh, pages to our PC. So sorry for that. Sorry for inconvenience. And just let's start. Job security meant everything to be Job security meant everything to my educated dad. Learning meant everything to my rich dad. A few years ago, I granted an interview with newspaper in Singapore. The young female reporter was on time, and the interview got underway immediately. We sat in the lobby of a luxurious hotel, sipping, sipping coffee and discussing the purpose of my visit to Singapore. I was to share the platform with Zig Ziglar. He was speaking on motivation, and I was speaking on the secret of the rich. Someday I would like to be the best selling author like you, she said. I had seen some of the articles she had written for the paper, and I was impressed. She had, she had a tough, clear style of writing. Her articles held a reader's interest. You have a great style, I said in reply. What holds you back from achieving your dream? My work does not seem to go anywhere, she said quietly. Everyone says that my novels are excellent, but nothing happens. So I keep my job with the paper. At least it pays the bills. Do you have any suggestion? Yes, I do, I said brightly. A friend of mine here in Singapore runs a school that trains people to sell. He runs sales training courses for many of the top corporations here in Singapore. And I think attending one of his courses would greatly enhance your career skills. Skills. See a stipend. See a stipend. Are you saying I should go to a school to learn to sail? I nodded. You aren't serious, or you are not serious, are you? Again, I nodded. What is wrong with that? I was now backing pedaling. She was offended by something, and now I was wishing I had not said anything. In my attempt to be helpful, I found myself defending my suggestions. The reporter said to me, I have master's degree in English literature. Why would I go to a school to learn to be a salesperson? I am a professional. I went to a school to be trained in a profession so I would not have to be a salesperson. I hate sales. I hate salespeople. All they want is money. So tell me why I should study sales. She was picking her briefcase. She was picking her briefcase. The interview was over. One of On the coffee table sat a copy of an earlier best-selling book I wrote. Huh. One On the coffee table sat a copy of an sorry guys. On the coffee table sat a copy of an earlier best-selling book I wrote. I picked it up as well as the notes she had jotted down on her legal pad. Do you see this? I said, pointing to her notes. She looked down at her notes. What? She said, confused. Again, I pointed deliberately to her notes. On her page, she had written, Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling author. It's a best-selling author, not best writing author. I said quietly. Yeah, I think everywhere it's written like best-selling book, best-selling author, not written best writing author. Yeah, that's a point. I said quietly. Her eyes widened. I am I am a terrible writer, I said. You are a great writer. I went to sales school. You have a master's degree. Put them together and get a best selling author and a best writing author. Anger flared in her eyes. I will never stop so low as to learn how to shell. People like you know business writing. I am a professionally trained writer and you are a salesman. It is not fair, she fumed. She put the rest of her notes away and hurried out through the large glass door into the humid Singapore morning. At least she gave me a fair and favorable write up the next morning. The world is filled with smart, talented, educated, and gifted people. We meet them every day. They are all around us. A few days ago, my car was not running well. I pulled into a garage, and the young mechanic had it fixed in just a few minutes. He knew what's the wrong in simply listening to the engine. I was amazed. He knew what was wrong. He knew what was wrong by simply listening to the engine. I was amazed. I am constantly shocked at how little talent people earn. I have met brilliant, highly educated people who earn less than 20,000 dollar a year. A business consultant who specialized in the medical trade was telling me how many doctors, dentists, and chiropractors chiropractic struggle financially. All this time, I thought that when the graduate, the dollars would pour in. It was the business consultant who gave me the praise. They are one skills away from great wealth. They are one skills. There are one skills away from the great wealth. What what this phrase means is that most people need only to learn and master one more skills and their income would jump exponentially. I have mentioned before that financial intelligence is a synergy of accounting, investing, marketing, and law. Combine those four technical skills and making money with money is easier than most most people would believe. Combine those four technical skills and making money with money is easier than most people would believe. When it's come to money, the only, s- only skills most people know is to work hard. The classic example of synergy of skills was that young writer of the newspaper. If she diligently learned the skills of sales and marketing, her income would jump dramatically. If I were her, I would take some courses in advertising, copyright, as well as sales. I would take some courses in copywriting as well as sales. I would take some courses in copywriting as well as sales. Then instead of working at the newspaper, I would seek a job at an advertising agency. Even if it were a cut in pay, she would learn how to communicate in shortcuts that are used in successful advertising. She also would spend time learning public relations and important skills. She would learn she would learn how to get millions in free publicity. Then at night and on weekends, she could be writing her great novel. When it was finished, she would be better able to sell her book. Then, in a short while, she could be a best-selling author. When I come out When I came out with my first book, If You Want to Be Rich and Happy, Don't Go to a School, a publisher suggested I change the title to The Economic of Education. I told the publisher that with a title like that, I would sell two books, one to my family and one to my best friend. The problem is that they would expect for free. They're on access title. On access title. If you want to be rich and happy, don't go to a school was chosen because we knew it would get tons of publicity. I am pro education and believe in education reform. If I were not pro education, why would I continue to praise for changing our antiquated educational system? So I choose a little. So I choose a little. So I chose a title that would get me on more TV and radio shows simply because I was willing to be controversial. Many people thought I was a fruitcake, but the book sold and sold. When I graduated from the US Merchant Marine Academy in 1969, my educated dad was happy. A Standard Oil of California had hired me for its oil tanker fleet as a third mate. They pay as low compared with my classmates, but it was okay for my first real job after college. My starting pay was about $42,000 a year, including overtime, I only had a and I only had to work for 7 months. I had 5 months of vacation. If I had wanted to, I could have taken the run to Vietnam and subsidy shipping company and easily doubled my pay instead of taking 5 months of vacation. Once again, once again. Hello, good evening. हाँ, हाँ. केवल उसी का मिल गया था रख था उसमें. अ, तुम एक बार ऋषभ से बात करो क्या कि लास्ट साल वही पार्टिसिपेट किया था. ऋषभ सर किए थे पार्टिसिपेट लास्ट ईयर. बीजों में. हाँ, हाँ. अरे नहीं. हाँ, जो भी. अरे नहीं, वो वाला है ना वो केस स्टडी वाला ना. अरे लास्ट ईयर ऋषभ किया था. अच्छा, हम उससे बात कर लेते हैं, अभी हम तुमको बता दें. ठीक है, हम तुरंत कर दो. One second, guys. One junior has called me for help, so I have to do. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Mhm. हेलो. अरे तुम लोग लास्ट ईयर केस स्टडी में किया था पार्टिसिपेट. अरे केस स्टडी नहीं रे, वो आईटी मतलब लाइट सिंदरी वाला। तो उसमें मेल उल करना था क्या पीपीटी? अरे कहाँ में बात किया? कहाँ किया वार वो ऊपर मतलब? वो अपने फोन में आया पहले। तो मेल कौन करता है, सीसी करता है कि तो वहाँ पे शायद मैसेज में लिखा हुआ था कि जब वो फॉर्म जो भी होगा उसमें लिखा हुआ था कि जो टीम लीडर। कहाँ बात किया वार मतलब कुछ डार्ट जैसा? अच्छा। हाँ वही बात कर लो। हेलो एक मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट। हम्म, शुक्रिया। हेलो। हेलो। अरे वो जूनियर लोग का वो केस स्टडी वाला अजीत फॉर्म भरना था, मतलब वो मेल करना था शायद कुछ। हाँ। अरे वो तो देखो ना बात करके। वो बोला गया था कि उसमें मेल आएगा, कि टीम लीडर के पास मेल आएगा, उसमें लिखा हुआ था। बट बट टीम लीडर को कोई मेल ही नहीं आया। तो फिर सीसी वगैरह ही करेगा क्या, एक बार कंफर्म कर लो। एक ही टीम बना होगा। वो किया मैत्री। टीम लीडर वही थे। मेल करना था, एक बार देख लेती। तुम लोग के मेल में आया है क्या? हाँ। मैत्री। हाँ तो सुबह बात कर लेंगे। हेलो। बोल दिए हम सोनल मैम को, वो बोलिए कि अभी देख लेगी मेल, अगर लाइट सिंदरी के मेल पे आया होगा तो, नहीं तो फिर कल सुबह बात कर लेगी वो। तो तुम लोग पहले ना बोलता रहे, तुम अभी बोल रहा है 10 11। हम्म। 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 हाँ। कितना टीम बना था? 3 टीम बना था, तीनों का किसी को मिल नहीं गया। तो टीम लीडर कैसे बना दे रहा हूँ लोग को यार, शुभम सला मॉडल क्लब में फिर भी इस तरह कर रहा है यार। मैं तुम मतलब मेल तुम लोग अपना रखता है यार, उन लोग को कैसे कैसे दे दिया। बोलो मेल चेक करने। अब पता नहीं फिर बात करेगी ऐसे, लेकिन एक वो अपने पास रहेगा तो मेल पे आया ही होगा, ऐसा नहीं नहीं आया होगा अगर बोला होगा तो। कर दो। तीनों तीनों का बना हुआ ना पीपीटी। मतलब 3 टीम में तुम लोग एक ही को पीपीटी बनवा पाया ना क्विज़। बस भेजो, भेजो मैम को। आप बोलो कि 2 टीम और था, उन लोग नहीं बनाया। बोल देना हमको लगा तुम अकेले, इसलिए हम बोले भी कि एक ही है शायद। ठीक, बोल दो। ठीक। Oof, oof, oof. Sorry guys, sorry, sorry, sorry. Once again, once again. Sorry guys, just our junior has called me for their one competition. There was one competition in IIT Kharagpur in online mode, in which means some case study competition. So they was trying to participate, but due to some team miscoordination with team, they are not able to submit their PPT on time. So they are um, परेशान मीन्स दे आर लिटिल बिट क्या परेशान काफी परेशान अरे एक सेकंड वो लोग अभी परेशान हो रहे हैं worried those people are getting worried right now all juniors are getting worried right now so where I was Vietnam with subsidiary shipping company and easily doubled my pay instead of taking 5 months of vacation. I had a great career ahead of me, yet I resigned after 6 months with a company and joined the Marine Corps to learn how to fly. My educated dad was devastated. His dad congratulated me in a schools and in the workplace. The popular opinion is the idea of a specialization. That is in order to make more and more money or get promoted. You need to specialize. That is why medical doctor immediately began to seek a specialty such as orthopedic, or pediatrics. The same is true for accountant, architect, lawyer, pilots, and others. My educated dad believed in the some dogma. That is why he was thrilled when he eventually achieved his doctorate. He often admitted that schools reward people who study more and more about less and less. Rich that encouraged me to do exactly the opposite. You want to know a little about a lot, was his suggestion. You know what? You want to know a little about a lot, was his suggestion. That is why for years I worked in different areas of his company. For a while I worked in his accounting department. Although I would probably never have been an accountant, he wanted me to learn via osmosis. Rich dad knew I would pick up jargon and sense of what is important and what is not. I also worked as a busboy and constructions worker as well as in sales, reservation and marketing. He was grooming Mike and me. That is why insisted. That is why he insisted, and that is why insisted we sit in one the meetings with his banker. Yeah, that is why he insisted We seated in one the more meeting with his bankers, lawyers, content, and workers. He wanted us to know a little about every aspect of his empire. When I quit my high paying job with a Standard Oil, my educated dad had a heart to heart talk with me. He was bewildered. He could not understand my decision to raise in from a career that offered happy, great benefit, lots of time off, and opportunity for promotion. When he asked me one evening, "Why did you quit? Why did you quit?" I could not explain it to him, though I tried hard to. My logic did not fit his logic. The big problem was that my logic was my rich dad's logic. Job security meant everything to my educated dad. Learning meant everything to my rich dad. Educated dad thought I went to a school to learn to be a ship's officer. Rich dad knew that I went to a school to study international trade. So as a student, I made a cargo runs, navigating large freighter, oil tankers, and passenger ships to the Far East and the South Pacific. Rich, Rich Dad emphasized that I should stay in the Pacific instead of taking ship to Europe because he knew that the emerging nations were in Asia, not Europe. While most of my classmates, including Mike, were partying at their fraternity halls, I was studying trade, people, business styles, and cultures in Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Korea, Tahiti, Samoa, and the Philippines. I was partying also, but it was not in any frat house. I grew up rapidly. Educated dad, educated dad just code, educated dad just could not understand why I decided to quit and join to the Marine Corps. I told him I wanted to learn to fly, but really I wanted to learn to lead troops. This dad explained to me that the hardest part of running a company is managing people. He had spent 3 years in the army. His educated dad was draft exempt. His dad valued learning to lead men into dangerous situations. Leadership is what you need to learn next, he said. If you are not good leader, you will get shot in the back, just like they do in business. Returning from Vietnam in 1973, I resigned my commissions even though I loved flying. I found a job with Xerox Corp. I joined it for one reason and it was not for the benefits. I was a shy person and the thought of sailing was the most threatening subject in the world. Xerox was one of the best sales and training program in America. His dad was proud of me. My educated dad was same being an intellectual. He thought the salespeople were below him. I worked with Xerox for 4 years until I overcome my fear of knocking on doors and being rejected. Once I could constantly be in the top half in sales, I again resigned and moved on, leaving behind another great career with an excellent company. In 1977, I formed my first company. Okay, means today I am going to live here. As he left the first, he joined one what one company means you can say marine means one simple. Hmm, yeah, how I can forget it? Let's just quick. Merchant Marine. उसके बाद after that he joined Marine Crops, then Xerox Crops, and he left Xerox Crops as well. Uh, why he joined Marine Crops? Just because of improving their leadership skills. Why he joined Xerox Crops? Just because he want to improve their sales skills. Because in sales skills, salesmen, as being salesman you have to reject it to go to door and reject it, then you can learn how to people means how to convince people to buy something. So that's he works there 4 years, then he overcome their fears and he become top app salesman that there, and then he left at the good company at the good position. So from next day we will learn, we will study, we will the short chapter. Tomorrow we will finish it, and tomorrow is my viva. Is two subject viva. First is transportation. That is a little bit easy. I can't say easy just because maybe external be opened and they can ask any difficult question and any deep questions that we are not able to think at that point. And the second subject is geotechnical. As geotechnical is vast subject, vast syllabus for our semester, so we cannot cover whole syllabus in one day. And means as an engineer we can, but as the point of interview, viva, like, we cannot go deep through all the topics, because just because the syllabus is too big. So we can try to ask some questions with friends they have already asked by teacher. We will prepare that, and then we will give the our viva. So that's the whole things going to tomorrow. If any things will come, we will try to solve. And yeah, that's all about today. Thank you, see you tomorrow. Bye bye, good night.